Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. Behind me, having kind of a late night snack, is Rue. Rue, kind of the wonder rooster. You want to say hi to everybody, Rue? So, Rue will be joining us tonight. We are in for, I believe, an exciting evening. So, I talk, I speak, I also channel with the angels, and the angels really want to talk with you. And so, we're going to have a talk tonight about how to reach the angels, how to connect with the angels, how to build this bridge or pipeline or fiber optic cable with the angels. With that said, it is a very interesting time for me this evening because tomorrow we're going back to the hospital where we lost a baby, we saved a baby, and we are now 7 weeks out from having a baby. And so I must admit that staying grounded during these times, connecting with the angels, merging with the energy of the angels is exceptionally important. And so I'm going to share with you what I've been doing to ground with the angels during this time. So we're going to talk a lot about easiest ways to connect, to build that fiber optic cable. You're going to want to stick around. We're going to do a meditation at the end with the angels. And a couple last notes. First off, thank you to everybody who has donated to our baby registry. Jessica had specific notes to tell you if you've donated to our baby registry. She said, Rue is sending out thank you notes, but it's taking some time because it doesn't have opposable thumbs, and there are a lot of letters to write. And I would add to that, he doesn't have opposable hands. So it's taking him a little time to get out the thank you notes. All right, let's dive into things. I am very, very excited for this one. So much information to share with you tonight. All right, we're leaving for the hospital tomorrow. And so what I've been doing, and I love to teach by example, is I keep repeating over and over, I merge with the energy of the angels. I merge with the energy of the angels. I merge. I'm going to move you over. We're here, Rue. There. Now you can be seen with the energy of the angels. Over and over and over I go. This is something we talked about a lot in last week's YouTube live, so I'm not going to cover it much here. But there is not only a difference in the energy around you when you say, I merge with the energy of the angels, but it becomes even just a little bit easier to hear the angels. That's one of the things, actually, that's the biggest thing we're trying to do here. So we're going to talk tonight first about how you speak to the angels, but more importantly, and we're going to talk about a carrier wave to speak with the angels. But then we're going to talk about a carrier wave to hear from the angels. For your angels are always trying to talk to you. And when you say, I merge with the energy of the angels, you are much closer to being able to hear them. And it's very difficult, as we'll talk about. It's very difficult to hear from the angels when you're going like this and this, like this, and oh, we're going to the hospital tomorrow, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. And 3 times ago, it wasn't such a good thing, and I don't know. Conversely, I merge with the energy of the angels. Oh, ah, yeah. In other words, when you do that, your ego, not eagle, it's okay, Rue. Eagle, he'd be definitely on the lookout. But your ego dials down the nervous system. So important to understand because emotion can work for us or against. There really is no against, but for us or against us as we're working to hear from the angels. The emotions can work for us or against us. What does that mean? Well, the first step in speaking to your angels, and your angels are so much closer than you realize. If you could reach out your hand to your right, there's an angel there. You're actually putting your hand on the angel's wing. If you reach out your hand to your left, there's another angel there. Behind you, another angel. All around you, angels. You are surrounded by angels. However, they have a harder time hearing you concisely unless you speak to them with emotion, energy in motion. And so when we want to speak to our angels, what we want to do is speak through the carrier wave of energy in motion. What's a carrier wave? That is like, well, I live at a giant lake, and it's actually faster to get to the other side to take a boat across, or in the winter to walk across or skate across, than it is to drive across, well, drive around. And a boat, which can carry goods across, is a carrier wave. The boat's going up and down and up and down and up and down. All frequency is going up and down and up and down and up and down. That's a carrier wave. Now we can place something, a mouse here, on a carrier wave, and it goes up and down with that frequency. You want to get it there faster, get a better wave. You want to communicate with the angels with more strength to your message so that they do something or understand the urgency or importance. Upgrade the level of the wave that you're speaking to them with. What does that mean? It means bring your energy to the angels. Yeah, but I don't want to overwhelm the angels. I don't want to appear desperate to the angels. The angels can take it. The angels can take whatever you wish to give them. However, the angels are very discerning. Mixed messages don't go so well with the angels. I want this person. I don't want this person. I want to move. I don't want to move. I don't know where to go. I know where I want to go. These are messages of a lack of discernment. We'll talk more about that in a little bit because clarity matters a lot. But on top of that, a message of a, I really want, and a, I'm not so sure. The angels don't know what to do with that. And just a message of, angels, please help me. Angels, I've read in this book, angels, please help me. Angels do this, angels do that. This is my beef. What a strange term. My challenge with written prayers that we just say by rote or by memory is that there's no heart in them. There's no energy in motion. You want to grab your angels, well, not grab them that way, by the wings. No, don't grab them that way. You want to grab your angels by the heartstrings. No, not harpstrings, heartstrings. Sorry, having fun here tonight. Then you want to do it with emotion. Angels, please help me. Angels, I need this. Angels, please give us such incredible news at the hospital tomorrow. And I mean it, please. Go to them with emotion. And it's okay to ask for anything. And I know we're going to have good news tomorrow, but I can always ask, hey, Rue, I can always ask for good news. Ask. Don't be, here we go, Rue. Don't be shy. Put the ask out there. So a sense of urgency or a sense of energy is, in a sense, everything, at least when you're doing things verbally. Now, I've got an automatic writing class coming up Thursday where I can teach you automatic writing live. Automatic writing is one of the few times that you can get in touch with your angels well. Actually, it's incredible for getting in touch with your angels without needing such energy. Yeah, do come join us for our class this Thursday, a live class. Because with automatic writing, you're building a long-term channel. You're building a fiber optic cable because you're going to your angels with a dedicated process time after time after time after time. So in essence, instead of a carrier wave that is carrying the message across, you've created a pipeline, and it becomes super simple. But without such a vehicle or without such a tunnel, then it is the energy of emotion that carries you through. So, I'd love it if you started talking with your angels. I'd love it if you started bringing your heart to your angels. So I was going to say something else here, and I looked at my notes and I'm like, wait a second, kind of already said that. And I go quiet and I listen, and certainly there's the clucks of Rue behind me. He is the cutest. Well, the kitties are the cutest too. They're all the cutest. And I'm sure when baby Hannah is here, well, she is here in belly, but here in my arms, she will by far be the cutest. But when you start communicating with your angels, angels, how am I doing? Angels, what's going on? Angels, what do I need to know? And you speak from the heart. You are speaking with energy. So energy doesn't have to be this overblasting, I'm speaking with energy. Angels, please help me. That's not all energy is cracked up to be. Energy can be very, very subtle. But it's about, whoa, what's going on back there, Rue? It's about coming from the heart. That's what we're talking about. So in the beginning, I said, merge with the energy of the angels. That's coming from the heart. A process like automatic writing you do each and every day. That's coming from the heart. You want to establish a connection with your angels from the heart. Here's the thing. We often establish connections to the angels with our head or with our ego. When you come to the angels with a heart-based panic, oh my God, I need your help. Like when we ran the risk of losing our twins a few months ago. Oh my God, I need your help. That wasn't ego. That was the heart crying out. And we heard very clearly the answer, and we were able to save one of our two girls. How does it get any better than this? I guess both girls, but Miracle will come later on as well. That's our second girl's name. How does it get any better than this? Which to me is actually an expression from the angels. How does it get any better than this? Is an expression of everything is perfect, is divine as it is, and will continue to get better and better, even if it doesn't appear that way on the surface. How does it get any better than this? But I'm asking from the heart. Asking from the ego is, I need an answer. I need an answer. Give me an answer. Give me. So when you say gimme like that, you're not leaving room or space to hear your angels. One of the biggest reasons that I teach automatic writing, and do come join me Thursday, is a process where you give space for the angels to speak. You get beyond the egoic mind. And right now, all of our energies are interconnected. You may think you're not following Russia and the Ukraine. You may not think you've been following people who are sick with COVID or the vaccine or the no vaccine or the anything. All of it adds up to an egoic soup of fear right now. I know you're an empath. I know you're energetically sensitive, which means that your ego or the collective ego is spinning up inside of you faster and faster and faster. And we get to find a way beyond the egoic mind. So automatic writing, do come join us Thursday. Automatic writing is the deepest channel because it's where you record something. It's where you can verify something. And the carrier ego is not easily distorted by the ego because you can check it. So while putting it out there with the energy of a great energy, is ideal, the energy of emotion, we have to throttle way back to listen. It's interesting. I just watched about 5 minutes of Top Gun, first time probably in God knows how many years. And to land on the aircraft carrier, you have to throttle back, way back, or you won't be able to catch the ball. You won't be able to make the landing. In essence, we can put out a lot of energy to broadcast to the angels, but then we have to throttle way back to get help from the angels. So it's interesting. Carrier signals. When you say, angels, please help me, or angels, I need, or angels, I'm feeling, or down on your knees, angels, I'm hurting so badly now. Not only do you send out a powerful signal to your angels that you need their help and they get to respond, but what you do is that signal goes out and then bounces back from the angels. If we didn't, and this is something the angels make very, very clear, if you don't put out, unless it's a process where you created a huge pipeline like automatic writing, if you don't put out enough energy on that signal going out, there is not enough energy for it to bounce back. So important. If you don't put enough energy going out, there's not enough energy to bounce back. Another reason that automatic writing, I'm kind of biased here tonight, is so powerful because it doesn't distort the signal. Let me repeat, automatic writing doesn't distort the signal. Knowing how to work with energy, also you don't distort the signal. What in the world is a distorted signal? Fear, for one. Fear is a huge distorted signal. Because when you're in a state of fear, you can't hear a message of light and love. I had to make some big decisions here today for our show. Oh, Christina, thank you so much. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? And Sweetheart 11. So thank you, Christina, for your kind donation. And Sweetheart 11, thank you so much for your kind donation. Woohoo! How does it get any better than this? And thank you for the prayers for baby Hannah. And Debbie, thank you so much. How does it get any better than this? Thank you guys so much. So today, I've got the energy. You do too, whether you realize it or not. I'm guessing you do. I've got the energy of Russia and the Ukraine and world economies and gas prices and COVID and uncertainty. All of this swirling around. At the same time, I've got a visit to the hospital tomorrow where we lost one baby and we're able to save another 3 times ago. But each time we go has been exceptionally interesting, to say the least. And I get decisions to make on a couple hires for today. People we may be bringing onto the dream team. I had to step way back and really anchor in with the angels. That's what I really want you to do, is to step way back when you're speaking to the angels. So, well, actually, step way back in all you do and ground with the angels so that you can stop yourself when you're spinning from acting from a state of fear. It is too easy in this world. Why are we at war right now? Not we meaning me for one, but we're the collective. We're at war. Why are we at war right now? Fear. Plain and simple. Yeah, well, it's a greedy this or it's a this or that. And what you damns you back. So let's not label or judge anything. At the end of the day, it's an egoic mind, the egoic mind of humanity gone awry. Our job is to dial down, through love, of course, the egoic mind. The more that we can dial it down, the more that we can anchor to our angels, the more that we can hear a message of hope, of light, of love. Because at present, you hear it when you wake up in the middle of the night. What you hear is the ego's message of fear screaming at you, screaming at me, screaming at us. That's not the energy where we can hear the angels. The angels don't speak in a scream. They speak in a whisper. It's another reason to go to something like automatic writing, because you're less likely to get a fear-based message because it's out of your egoic mind. So basically what I'm talking about tonight is two methods. First, there's the energetic message of communicating with the angels. And I want you to play with that now, tonight, right away. And secondly, is building a huge kind of a fiber optic cable, more than that, like a fiber optic tunnel with all of these cables to speak instantly to the angels, where your egoic mind doesn't get involved. And that's automatic writing. Because we want to go to a place that's beyond thought. We want to go to a place where the mind doesn't get involved, so it's safe to listen to spirit. What do you mean, so it's safe to listen to spirit? So key. And I must admit, when I get overwhelmed, it's hard to feel safe. Everything seems a little bit scary. When the egoic mind doesn't feel safe, it will never let you listen. When the egoic mind doesn't feel safe, it will never let you listen. Thank you, Paola. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How does it get any better than this? So when you're in a crowded, some Brenda B, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are too cool. You guys are too great. If you've ever been on a crowded subway, not one where you sit down, you have your own seat and maybe a seat on either side of you, but in a crowded subway, or if you've ever been in really intense traffic. We live not too far from New York City, even though we're at a beautiful lake. But if you've ever been in a crowded subway or traffic on the highway, that is the time of the ego. Right, Rue? Rue, what are you up to? A key point here. A little hard to see him at the moment, but his earlobes are pure white right now. And his back is flat. And that is rooster language for I'm relaxed and or tired. He's kind of got conflicting messages at the moment. He's got his ears are saying I'm relaxed. His back is saying I'm relaxed. His is saying I'm a little nervous or I want something. Oh, do you want some treats here? Oh, you want some more treats? There you go. Is that what you want? Is that what you want, good boy? Or is there a message that you want to share with people? Is there a message of it's really hard to hear when I'm in a nervous place? This is so true. So, what do we get to do? Well, there's a few key things we can do. To hear the angels, right, Rue? We need to get out of a place of fear. We need to get out of a place of fear. So this is where a couple things can come in handy. One, nature can come in handy. That's why Jessica and I planted ourselves during this time of baby coming to us, of being by the water. Water leads to what's called a blue mind. It's very soothing. I'm picking up my water here. Oh, this is a new Rue cup. Jessica made this. It says on one side of it, no, we're not going to have you. Oh my. Rue baby. There are certain things that are allowed. I know. and certain things that are not allowed. So I need this little space right here in order to record. Is that all right, good boy? You want me to keep you here while I'm recording. This seems inherently a little bit dangerous, good boy, on many, many, many levels. So would you mind? Do you want down for a minute? Is that what you'd like? Or would you like back over here? Here, let me help you down. Hold on, everybody. Oh, I know. I know. You want to say hi? Okay, let's get you down. There you go. Good boy. All right. That other sound you heard, the sound, means daylight savings. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit overtired at this moment. Lily Jane, thank you so much for your kind donation. How does it get any better than this? All right. So to hear the angels, you need time away from fear. Nature comes in handy. The blue mind, that's what I'm talking about, comes in handy. How much can you have water around you? How much can you have water features? How much can you have the sound of water or green around you, green in your environment? The more nature that you have, the more it helps dial down the fear, or time to take you out into nature. Beyond that, let's talk about your true nature. Your true nature is a state of beingness. And it is that state of beingness that is, I hear them saying, the best state to find your angels in. They could joke about it being the 51st state, the state of beingness, of space, of things like meditation, is the perfect place to catch your angels. That's where time where you say, I'm merging with the angels. And when I say I'm merging with the angels, I say I'm merging with the angels, and I feel myself pulling up energy from the floor all the way up to the top of my head, bringing the energy of the angels. I merge with the energy of the angels. I cycle it back down, right down through my fingertips, or actually through my heart and out my fingertips, or right back down through my feet. And I cycle the energy up and I cycle it down. But beyond that, I breathe in and breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. And what happens? I stop the fear-based thoughts, even if just for a minute. Oh, yeah. That's when you hear the messages of your angels. It's also why I'm going to be biased tonight. Forgive me. This is so important. Automatic writing class this Thursday live with me. Automatic writing I do each and every morning, almost without fail. Our live's kind of interesting lately. If I miss it first thing in the morning, I will get to it as soon as I can, and I will do it 2-3 times a day or more. Because connecting with your angels takes you out of fear. It is a fear-based machine that has raised its head. It's a fear-based filter that has put up walls. It is a fear-based filter that keeps you from hearing from spirit. So there's so many people who watch the show and say, Michael, I've tried this, I've tried that, but I can't hear the angels. It's because the ego has raised her or his head. And we so desperately want to hear from the angels out of desperation that we get shut down. Why? Well, let's recap. Your energy or emotion is a carrier wave. It not only makes it clear to the angels what you want or need, but it amplifies energy out, and then it amplifies their voice back to you. Your emotion is a carrier wave that amplifies what you want to say out to the angels, and amplifies the voice of the angels back to you. In this case, the ego is fine. I like to go from the heart, but the ego is fine to get on a message because the ego is always calling or screaming for safety. However, we must inherently dial back the ego in order to hear the message from the angels. That's why having a process like automatic writing with a regular time and space helps to hear from the angels. But here's the thing. The angels don't answer without a question. The angels don't answer without a question. And I said I would double back to this. This had to do with conciseness or being precise. If you say, I need help from the angels, I need help from you, but I don't know what the help is, it's hard for the angels to give you assistance because they want to give you, they love you, they yearn to help you. They don't want to see you afraid. They don't want to see you suffering. But if you don't say what kind of help you want, how do they know what to give you? If you don't know what you want, how do they know what to give you? So, if we go to meditation, and I'm saying I want to connect with the breath, I want you to connect with the breath, I want you to connect with silence, I want you to be able to hear the angels. And we'll double back to it in a minute. Little secret. There are two carrier waves. One is your emotion going out. The second carrier wave is the silence carrying the answer back to you. That's why I'm saying we need a practice like automatic writing or practice like meditation. But meditation isn't enough. Michael, there's book on book after book after book after meditation. That's true. And Homeboy here spent years sitting, holding space in a meditation center with Jessica 3-4 hours a day. Om Mani Padme Hum, so to speak, but silent. Our world was crashing down all around us. This was on Maui. You probably heard the story. We were meditating for hours a day and everything went kaboom. Why? Well, in a sense, we were using meditation as a numbing agent. Oh, I feel so great. I'm meditating, blah, 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 24 hours a day. Yeah, but have you communicated with Spirit? Have you heard from Spirit? Have you put any questions out there to Spirit? So part of it is meditation, but part of it is putting your questions out there. I'll dive more back into automatic writing in a bit, but frankly, if I can get you to put your questions out there to the universe, to the angels with emotion, we're doing great. So I went kayaking earlier today. I go kayaking, well, it's only been 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks since we had hard ice on the lake. We had ice on the lake this morning. I have been swimming already. I'm a little bit of a nutter. I love it. Did have a wetsuit on. But I was going to go paddling out in nature. And it is the perfect opportunity for the universe to paddle even faster and catch me and answer my questions while I'm out on the lake. Notice what I said. Answer my questions. You don't get an answer from the angels unless you put a question out there. You don't get an answer from the angel unless you put a question out there. I had a question about one person that I wanted to bring on board for a consulting role. I put that question out there and paddled. And the universe was able to speak with me and give me an answer. Okay, technically, I went into a big headwind at the beginning, and I actually put on a little music to go out, paddling out into this headwind, 32-degree water. Really don't want to tip in, and there's little minor waves. So I'm like focused, using the music to get going. And then I get out there, and I shut it off into the silence. And it is in the silence, the carrier wave of the angels, It's a book I made years ago. Still haven't released it. More of a photo book than anything. It's beautiful, though. I was taking a look at a few of the photos today. It's called Silence Speaks. That is the carrier wave of the angels. I put the question out there. I went into silence, and the angels had a chance to give answers to me. I'm an athlete. As an athlete, I love getting into the flow state. Flow state is when you're running and feel like it could go effortlessly forever, or swimming, or cross-country skiing, or whatever activity, and you feel like it can go forever. The flow state is also when you're painting, when you're drawing, when you're singing, when you're rocking your baby, when you're doing anything where you lose sense of time. I've called it warping time in the past, and it feels like it could go on forever. The flow state is a state of no mind or non-mind. And it's in this state of no mind or non-mind that the ego has dialed all the way back. And you can hear spirit. So the question becomes, are you taking time in no mind each day? Are you taking time in the stillness, time in the silence, time to just be you, to just be? So the angels will not and cannot be heard by the thinking mind. The angels, your angels, my angels, many of them the same angels, cannot be heard by the thinking mind, at least not in this current iteration of humanity. At some point, we will go beyond fear-based humanity, and you'll be able to hear the angels very clearly. But until that point, when our mind works with fear, works with safety, we cannot hear the angels with our conscious mind. It's only heard when the filter of the intellect, the filter of the analytic, the filter of disbelief, the ego, is dropped. Now, I'm not saying annihilate the ego, kill the ego, get rid of the ego. What I'm saying is take a break from the ego. And the ego, to me, is your wounded inner child that wants to do everything to keep you safe, including whapping you with the kneecap if it thinks it's going to keep you safe. But what we're saying, I hear the angels saying, that's why I hit a plural. What we're saying, what the angels are saying, is the most powerful way to connect with us. The most powerful way to connect with them is to get out of your head. The most powerful way to connect with the angels is to get out of your head. So, have you ever had a mystical experience? Let's back up. Let's call it differently. Have you ever had an accident? Have you ever had a time where something terrible happened? And all of a sudden there was a mystical experience, and not just a near-death one. We've had times where we go to slip and fall, where all of a sudden time almost stands still, or it feels like our lives flash before our eyes, or all of a sudden we realized how important someone or something is to us, or we had an epiphany as we're slipping and falling on the ice. Why? It's because you just got knocked out of your mind. We can't hear the angels from the thinking mind. But when we're knocked out of our minds, we hear it so clearly. The joke goes in running that everybody becomes religious, maybe neurotic too. Everybody becomes religious at mile 20 because we go into a state of prayer and we're so exhausted that we lose our minds. That's actually a huge benefit to where we are with humanity here today. It doesn't seem it. It seems like overwhelm. It seems like it used to be that calamities and tragedies happened, what? Once every century, once every decade, once every 4 years, once every year. Now it's what? Once or twice a day. The calamities happen faster, 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 over and over and over. Why? One of the reasons is to knock us out of our mind or to knock us out of our state of thought. Yes, it is helping us to communicate with the angels. It's also putting us more in a state of emotion, which helps us to put out a message as long as we have a process to hear it back. It's actually why I started the School of Mystics, to help cultivate a regular state of no mind, or to train everybody in our School of Mystics how they can hear the carrier wave from the angels, how they can train themselves to a higher level of awareness. Definitely come join us for our School of Mystics. Well, I'll put down the link there. It's 4 Wednesdays a month. But what we're doing is cultivating. I'm sure there are people here who can wave and say hi and say how much they're enjoying the School of Mystics. What we're doing is cultivating a regular state beyond thought, a regular state where you shut things down. I'm hearing an insult in my head. When I was a kid, so I grew up on the New Hampshire border of Massachusetts, and bullies would say, how would they say it? Hey, Sandler, go take a long walk off a short pier. What in the world is a pier? A pier is a thing that has wooden pylons and wood across it, and you walk to the end of it to go fishing or something. And they'd say, take a long walk off a short one. In other words, get out of your mind, Sandler. They didn't quite mean it that way. I'm translating it liberally in my favor here. But what they were saying without realizing it is to go to the emptiness, to go to the carrier wave of the angels, to go to a state of no mind. There's so many ways to get to no mind. Now, we're not talking about drugs. There's a place for everything in the world, in theory, but we're not talking about anything that confuses the carrier wave. Nothing could be further from the truth. So there are teacher medicines, ayahuasca being a great example, where you plug into another carrier wave. But there are other substances that confuse the carrier wave. We're not talking about this. We're talking about diving into the emptiness, diving into the abyss. As a kid, I used to love going to water holes. Water again. Oh, I got to tell you about the mug later. How does it get any better than this? I used to go into lakes or rivers and go swim to the bottom of a water hole and just hang out down there. Now, I didn't have the meditative practice I have now. I certainly didn't have automatic writing. But I would go to the bottom. I can remember my favorite, Topsfield, Massachusetts. There was a river, Ipswich River. Didn't even remember that. Thank you, angels. Ipswich River goes right under a bridge, I believe it was, through Topsfield. And I would swim to the bottom of this little hole, and I would go past a thermocline where the temperature and the water would change, get a little cold, even in the summer. And I'd go down to the bottom, and I would just sit as long as I could hold my breath, 10, 20 seconds, maybe more. And then I'd come up, and I'd be at such peace. Why? The angels were speaking to me in the silence. The carrier wave of the angels is pure silence. So we put out the energy, desperation, fine, crying, fine, whatever, fine. But then whether it is meditation, whether it is a flow state, whether it is swimming to the bottom of whatever, safely, of course, it's finding a way to get into that no mind space. Of course, I'd say the easiest is learn automatic writing, because it's a super simple way to hear from your angels on a regular basis. And that pipeline becomes stronger and stronger. So you don't have to become, well, nobody has to become, but you don't have to be as if you're a monk in a cave in order to hear from the angels. But automatic writing too inherently quiets the mind. Of course. So let's review here real briefly. And we're going to go to questions in a few minutes. Answer is really simple. First, you can learn automatic writing. Super simple way to dive in and hear from angels. Second, you can put out with emotion all of your questions to the angels. Put it out with all the emotion you can bring to mind. Let your emotions carry your request to the heavens and beyond. And yes, of course, the more specificity in the questions, the better. So you could say, how can you help me today? That's okay. How can you help me with an editor? Is more specific. Or how can you help me with editing this specific show? Even more specific still. The more specificity you bring, the better. But then plug into the carrier wave of the universe, the carrier wave of the heavens, the carrier wave of the angels, by plugging in and diving into the silence. Any which way you can, plug into that silence. Silence can be on the lake, it can be on the bike, it can be on the cushion, it can be on the couch, it can even be on the bed. Right, Rue? Are you hopping back on here? Is this your new racetrack here for during interviews? Is that what it is? So our best man, Jack, for Jessica and myself, many years ago, 89 years young when he was our best man. He was a Course in Miracles guy. He would wake up in the morning. He said, I never really meditated. He would just go silent, breathing in, breathing out, and put a question out to the universe, and then would lay in bed and listen. And the answers would come to him. Why? He put out the question from his heart. That's the carrier wave to carry it out there and for it to bounce back. And now it's coming back, but it's coming back on the silence. And so he would lay there in the silence and the answer would come to him. Of course, you can do this in automatic writing too. So I want you after today to have a regular strategy, a regular practice to communicate with your angels. It can be anything. The choice is up to you. Since I've got a class coming up on Thursday, I'd say learn automatic writing. Automatic writing, what it does is it builds a permanent connection between you and the angels. The more that you write, the easier it is to hear them. The more that you write, the easier it is. The more that you write, the easier it is, until you hear them without even writing. I have now become, I can't believe I'm going to say it, a decent channel or a medium or whatever we want to call it. Don't have to label it. I'm still uncomfortable with the term. And wow, I've been practicing awe for the better part of a decade, seriously, for 7 years. Once I started practicing automatic writing experience multiple times a day, the angels started speaking to me loud and clear throughout the day. Challenge as to whether I would listen to them. But it was fast. I've had people within their first year of learning automatic writing start a business and doing readings for other people because the angels started communicating to them so clearly. Why? Because you're building such a pipeline. You're building such a fiber optic cable between you and the angels. If you do it every morning, if you do it every evening, if you have a process, specifically in this case, automatic writing, where you touch base with the angels each and every day, the connection goes stronger and stronger and stronger with spirit until you're hearing spirit loud and clear without even having to put a pen on the paper. It is so easy to get lost. So easy to get lost this lifetime. And Jill Mitchell, I send you all my love, all my love, all my love. Thank you. How does it get any better than this? So much love, Jill. It is so easy to get lost this lifetime when we don't have a clear connection to our angels. They're almost screaming to us, but they scream to us sort of like Rue shaking his feathers. On that note, Rue feathers are everywhere right now. It's something when you get a thank you note with the baby registry, when you get a thank you note from Rue, it comes with a special surprise. You'll see. He is molting right now. And so his feathers are flying everywhere. Our angels want to help us live the most beautiful existence we can. We can't do so by staying in an ego-based world, by staying in an egoic mind that is always looking for fear, because guess what? It will always find fear. It's designed to find fear. It has an IQ/EQ that is off the charts. Your mind is brilliant at finding fear. It is only when you plug into something greater than ourselves, and I'm talking the angels here, can you get dialed back from the fear, and can you see the world more clearly? Which means we want to do everything in our power to hear the angels, which means we want to find a way to plug into the silence, to pause, to hear the carrier wave, or to have a process like automatic writing in order to communicate with spirit. But this means more than anything right now. It is no exaggeration that we are in the most challenging times energetically. Thank God we don't have a World War II going on. Thank God we don't have some of the other atrocities that have taken place in the past. But things are happening so fast, so rapidly, so much overwhelm. We are so connected, so interconnected, so swimming in a soup of energy and connectivity that now more than ever we need to get grounded. It's also why now more than ever we're being challenged to help us connect with spirit. Everything is the flip side of the coin. The more challenged we are, the more energy we have to connect with spirit. The more challenged we are, the more important it is to connect with spirit. So, if you want to learn a process that's super easy, come join me Thursday. If not, do everything you can to replay this and share it with everybody and replay and replay and replay and replay and share and share and share and replay. To do what's in here, bring emotion, go to silence. Bring emotion, go to silence. Bring emotion, go to silence. Which is why I say each and every time, each and every day, every chance I can, and I want you to say it every chance you can. Hold on here. I merge with the energy of the angels. I merge with the energy of the angels. I merge with the energy of the angels. So I'm going to open it up to questions here. I do want to mention my dear friend Nora it's hard to pronounce her name, Santo, has an amazing book available for pre-order for kids right now. Middle school age kids, to help them to connect, to help them so they don't feel lonely, to help them to understand who and what they are. And you can find out about that at thecelestinacode.com. And it is an incredible book. And she is an amazing, amazing author, psychologist, and human being extraordinaire. And that's at the celestinacode.com. I can't recommend her work enough. With that said, Jessica wants me to mention the mug, and then we'll open it up to questions. So this mug she got for me, she gifted it to me today. I hadn't seen this before. I didn't know this existed. And it has on it Rue. And I don't know if you can see that. It says, every day in every way, I get better and better. A play on words from Emile QA. Every day in every way, I get better and better. It has Rue with a halo there. Halo, Rue. And on the other side, it says, what does it say? Are you ready to shine bright? Oh, there we go. That's a better bing, bing shot. And we'll go with that one here. So I just literally got this. How does it get any better than this? Every day in every way, I get better and better. So, all right, let's open it up to some fun questions. I believe there's a link I was going to put there if you want to get one of these mugs yourself. Fun but true. Rue, how do you feel about this? I think he's pretty happy about it. All right, go. I have a question for Michael. I read that fallen angels can deceive us like angels of light. How can we keep safe from bad angels? Thanks for not forgetting me. Go. I don't buy the fallen angels concept. Everything in my being suggests there is no such thing. There are energies that are stuck that need help getting home. There are energies that are misguided and lost. But the concept of a fallen angel is a human-based concept. An angel is vibrating at a higher frequency. It is impossible for them to fall down to a lower frequency. It's not where they vibrate at. It's sort of like asking an element of a chart on the table of elements to fall from one element to another. For gold to suddenly fall to lead. It doesn't happen. That's a fear-based concept. Now, when I do automatic writing, I do a certain order of prayers so I can reach to the highest level as possible. I don't recommend things like a Ouija board because you're just putting a net out there to catch any energy you want, whether it's truly an angel or not. I don't recommend those practices. But I do not believe, I have never seen, I have never heard of anything, and I'm not going to, anything of a fallen angel, because again, that's like something going from one element and falling to another. Angels' job is to help us. That is what they're wired. If we want to say angelic DNA, they're on their own soul path, their own soul mission. And their mission is helped, is guided, is all of their energy, in a sense, comes from helping us. It would be as if shutting off their oxygen by doing the opposite of helping us. So when we hear beware of fallen angels, what I hear is beware of the egoic mind. Beware of the mind that keeps us in a state of fear so that we cannot hear the higher level messages from our angels. Brilliant question, Gogo. Renee, how does it get any better than this? Thank you so much for your kind donation. Jill, 1111. How does it get any better than this? Thank you so much, Jill. Denise, question. Would the angels help with writing a book? Hello. I could tell you more about this in a minute. But yes. I published a few, and a couple I felt some channeling from someone. Could it have been from angels? I'm convinced every single one of the greats was an intuitive download, a hit that came from someplace greater than ourselves. All of the great books do not come from the thinking mind. They come from plugging into spirit. What does spirit speak through? It speaks through angels, and it speaks through the silence. So absolutely, Denise, your angels are helping you to write. In my case, the angels came to me, I think it was 6 years ago. 6 years ago on Pyramid Rock Trail in northern New Jersey. And they said, you're going to write a book on automatic writing. And I told Jessica, and she's like, you're going to write a book on automatic writing. And I'm like, the two of you or more are nuts. I'm not going to write a book on automatic writing. I'm a this coach. I'm a that coach. I'm a whatever. I'm not going to be known as the angels guy. It's now off and on for, I don't know when she came out now, 6-8 months ago, off and on, the #1 angels and spirit guide book in the world on Amazon. And they had to hound me to get me to write it. And then I kept trying to write it from my head until I got out of my head. Well, actually, let's be truthful. The first attempt was amazing guided words from the angels. That was like 2,000 pages long, way too much from a book. Then I tried to figure out how to trim it down going from the head. That didn't work. And so I had to take an approach of asking specific questions of the angels, just as I'm talking about here tonight, going silent and letting them help write it from there. Dana, what is happening lately? I feel as if something is not quite right with the universe. Oh, Denise, write that book. Write that book. Dana, what is happening lately? I feel as if something is not quite right with the universe, like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Any ideas? Dana, the other shoe is dropping, and there'll be another shoe, and there'll be another shoe. This is an accelerated process, and we're an accelerator of growth right now. This doesn't mean that we can't go to a place of love. This doesn't mean we can't have beautiful lives. This doesn't mean we don't want to bring in, for instance, our baby girl, Hannah, into this world. It doesn't mean the world is about to end. What it does mean is we are going to be challenged as energetic beings, having an energetic experience in human form. That's what you are, Dana. That's what you are, everyone. You're an energetic being having an energetic experience in human form. You are being challenged to connect at a higher level. Here's how the game's played. Here's why I have the School of Mystics. I have the School of Mystics, very biased, because if I can get enough people recognizing that they are a mystic, that you are a mystic, and plugging into spirit and connecting at a higher level, I change the frequency you vibrate at. You vibrate at a higher frequency, more like at the level of the angels. When you do that, and a critical mass of us comes together, we hit a tipping point, at which point humanity changes, at which point humanity is not stuck in a fear-based, egoic-based world where we're creating out of fear, where we're destroying out of fear, we're hurting out of fear, we're hurting ourselves out of fear. Instead, we're acting from a higher level. Now, the time is now. All of the prophecies talk about now is the time. Not talking about meaning 2022 specifically, but this time period, whether we say it started in 1980, 1990, Mayan calendar, 2012, age of Aquarius, all of this, all of these prophecies come together, the age of the eagle and the condor, all of these prophecies, because this is the time where we're put in an accelerator of growth to help us to shift. Now, whether you're into the environment or not, and I think everybody probably is, at least on some level at this point, because it needs a little help, to say the least. None of this being the environment, this being the way we live, this being the way the economies are, this being the way the power structure is, none of it. You don't have to think of a big bad person, of a big bad lizard, whatever, big bad conspiracy. No, none of this is sustainable for a reason, for our growth, for our accelerated growth, for us, for consciousness to expand, for us to expand, for us to see a different way. And so the screws are getting turned tighter and tighter and tighter still. So what's happening lately is a turning of the screw to help us, or screws, to help us to evolve, to help us to grow, to help us to reach for a higher level, to help us to connect with the angels, or connect with spirit, or connect to however or whatever we label as higher level energy. to help us spiral upwards. We've got an amazing show with Suzanne Giesman on this on Thursday, talking about specifically what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine and messages from the angels. Come join us on Thursday. We also have a message from the angels tomorrow night from Vincent Jenna on this very thing. So yes, in a sense, do you need down, Rue? We are going to feel more uncomfortable until we shift. But it doesn't have to be this massive shift for us to feel better. It can be micro shifts. The last few weeks have felt so jittery to me, Dana, and everyone felt so jittery that I've been going, I merge with the energy of the angels. I merge with the energy of that. And this isn't just me saying this. I mean, I'm feeling this. I'm embodying this. I'm feeling the angels walking into my soul, walking into my body, walking into my spirit. And I've gone from real jittery in this time period to overall, tonight being a little bit of an exception with the hospital in the morning, overall being calmer and more grounded than ever. And we'll do a real calming, grounding meditation with the angels in just a little bit. So hang around for that. So we can actually flip this energy on its head and use this energy of discomfort to help thrust us into a greater state of comfort and peace. And then that becomes the dominant energy on the planet. And that will change things as a wave over the whole planet by working simply on the peace within your heart. Faith therapist. How do the angels hear and respond if one knows they need assistance, but they're not sure what to ask for? Well, Faye, you don't need to know exactly, like, you don't need to say, I need a, I don't know, it sounds really weird, but a golden fork. No, you don't need to know specifically that it's a golden fork. But you could say, I need assistance finding more peace. I need assistance opening up my heart. I need an assistance guiding me in life right now, or knowing what path to take, or bringing somebody into my life, or simply helping me round this bend. No, none of those were exact specificities, but they did have some element of direction to them. You can go quiet, Faye, and listen to your heart. You really look like you want down. You want back on here. As soon as you get on here, Rue, which is fine, I'm going to have to take you down because it's hard for us both to fit in this space while I'm giving a talk. So are you sure that's what you... Yes. He is sure that's what he wants. So, Rue, do you mind if I carry you down now? At this point, Rue looks actually bigger than I am. Hold on here. Let me get you down. There you go. Good. Okay. Go to your heart, Faye. Go to the silence and ask. You can put your hands on your heart. What do I need? Breathe in, breathe out, and listen. That will give you the answer. What do I need? Then put that out there to the angels. And don't worry if it's not perfect. Don't worry if it changes as well. Blossom. What a name. Blossom Violet Piano. I love it. And I love the keys there at the end. Do we hear the angels easier when we are consciously awake? We are more receptive. It's a brilliant question. We are more receptive to the angels. We are more aware that they are there when we're consciously awake. The angels are always speaking to us. But how would we know that unless we are perceiving more to this world? So if we're not perceiving more to this world, I can get a book like Automatic Writing and go to this page, sync with the sun. Why would I do that? Oh, I've got Red Hot Chili Peppers keyboards. Best time of the day for automatic writing. Why am I going to try to do this junk? Excuse me. Cancel, clear, release. If you're not more consciously awake, if you're not more consciously aware, if you don't believe that there is anything more to this world than meets the eye, you put this massive wall up before you that stops you from hearing anything. So this consciously awake that you speak of, there is a level of awareness that we each get to have before we're going to be receptive to hear the angels. Everyone here is more receptive. Now, can it go to an even higher level? Yes, but saying level is a slippery slope, and I want to be very, very careful here, because on the other side of the veil, the janitor, so to speak, or the homeless person may actually be the most evolved. You never know. Actually, odds are pretty darn good that the people you think are the least evolved may actually be the most evolved and playing those roles to learn something or for a reason. However, the more time we spend down the rabbit hole of awareness, of awakeness, the easier it is to hear spirit, because the ego kicks back either less, or we have a process that we've learned so that when the ego kicks back, we can still put a grappling hook into the voice of spirit. Red Cupid Bow Lips, thank you very much. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? And thank you for sending your blessings and big love to our family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tanya, I love you, Tanya. For 3 straight days, deer have run across the road up ahead of me. Deer are super sensitive. When I see deer, I think of spirit immediately and communication from the spirit world. 15 plus the first day. I also saw many deer and turkeys eating together in a field 2 or 3 of those days. So that's actually, to me, a message of peace is what I'm seeing. So when I see deer on their own, that's a message of energy and awareness and of spirit. When I see multiple species together like that, and deer and turkey together, eating in a field together, as a message of peace and harmony. To me, Tanya, what that means is I would go, I feel you're being summoned to spend time in meditation, focusing on the deer and turkey together, focusing on this sense of peace and cultivating that in your heart to begin cultivating that for the entire world. This is something that kind of goes beyond the scope of today. Maybe I get to do a show on this coming up, which is, if we cultivate an emotion in our hearts, if we cultivate a state in our hearts, it becomes contagious for the entire planet. And each of us, so question before was from Blossom about consciously awake. The more consciously awake you are, the more aware you are, the more that you are going to be challenged to carry energy for the planet at a higher level, to help heal the planet at a high level, to help work through fears, worries, concerns, karma, all of this stuff for the entire planet, to help everyone and everything to heal. Because as your energy goes up, you're capable of handling more energy. More of the world's energy is put on your shoulders. Still working on the flexibility of this wrist. It was rebuilt 3 months ago after I got hit by an SUV. Story for another day. This is one of the few times where I see that how much flexibility I need. But you will have the weight of the shoulders on you the more awake and aware that you are, because you can handle that, so that as your vibration goes up, you start lifting everybody up around you. So Tanya, you get to play, and it means you've got it going on. Lux Green, question. We all, like a ton of people, are feeling off lately, not just me. It's funny, actually, that's the topic. So we have a live class on automatic writing this Thursday, and each month we do a different topic. So when you sign up for automatic writing, you get a free class, you could say, every single month, live class with me. And we have a different theme each month. This Thursday's theme is about the current state that we're in and how we use automatic writing to rise above it, because it feels heavy right now. It feels funky right now. And so Lux Green, so that is another thing that you'll learn in automatic writing, is how to use automatic writing this Thursday, is how to handle the energies of the world today. So Lux Green asks, we all, like a ton of people, are feeling off lately, not just me. I think it's an astrology thing, but how can we break out of that? Anxiety killing me lately and a lot of people around me. Astrology. So we had a great interview with Dr. Michael Lennox a few months ago. Astrologically, we are being challenged, and we are being challenged collectively, but not as much as we think. 2020 and 2021 were much more severe, where it's kind of astrologically things are throttling back a little bit for 2022 and 2023 to get our house in order. Midway, I think May 2023, things really start to throttle up. What we're feeling now is the impulse inside of us, just that you put out there, Lux, that says, I've got to find a way beyond this. That's what we get to do. Now, first off, Lux, let me challenge you with your words, because every word has an energy to it. Anxiety killing me lately. Let's choose different words. Anxiety feels awful lately. Anxiety is exhausting me lately. Anxiety is feeling overwhelming. The best word, I'll use Suzanne Giesman's word from Thursday. Anxiety is very interesting for me lately. It is, Lux. What we get to do is anchor to something greater than ourselves. It sounds ridiculously simple. Stand in front of a mirror. Imagine an angel with angel wings standing behind you is stepping into your body, an angel specifically, wings, and say 3 times with your hand over your heart, I merge with the energy of the angels. I merge with the energy of the angels. I merge with the energy of the angels. Each time you find yourself in freak out, each time you find you can't breathe, and that lack of breath isn't yours. That lack of breath isn't mine either. And I'm feeling it more and more lately. It's the collective freaking out. Right, Rue? I merge with the energy of the angels. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. I merge with the energy of the angels. Breathe out. Breathe in, bring the energy up. I merge with the energy of the angels. We are being challenged to be angels, not to act angelically, but to vibrate at the level of the angels. That's what's going to help us more than anything, is that changing that inner work, or changing that inner landscape, doing the inner work, which is then going to reflect in the outer world. Take a few more questions, then we're going to dive into a meditation. Author Delayu, welcome to the Mystic Circle. Mystic Circle, if you click that join button down below, I guess I should put it there. The join button down below, or there, join button down below, is all sorts of behind the scenes videos, and videos with myself, videos with Rue, videos us out on the water or hiking. But more to the point, it's epiphanies, it's daily understandings. It is what is going on in my mind or in Rue's mind, and how are we going through these things. So it's a lot of behind the scenes goodness of what's going on in the world and in our inner landscape, to help inspire you, to help ground you, so that you can navigate this world as well. And that's the Mystic Circle. And we've got some members here tonight who've been in the Mystic Circle 6 months or longer. And it is a beautiful way to come along the journey with us, and support us, of course, but really to come along the journey with us and to learn the lessons we're learning almost at the same time. On that note, Mary, who is a longtime Mystic Circle member, how does it get any better than this? Thank you, Mary. 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 I'm so glad you're enjoying things here tonight. Tammy Wood, how are all of your injuries healing? Tammy, they are healing relatively great. I was hit by an SUV 4 months and 4 days ago here in northern New Jersey, and on a bicycle. And I am now on this trainer at riding my bicycle indoors. Jessica really doesn't want me riding the bicycle outdoors with baby on board. And I'm sure she's going to say when baby is here in New Jersey at all. So we're looking into homes in New Hampshire at the moment to go someplace quieter, because I love to ride my bicycle. But I'm riding on this indoor trainer thing. And I did my first race. I was just doing it for training on Saturday or Sunday, and ended up going up a 3,500-foot mountain on my bicycle in the spare bedroom, so to speak. And with twin fractures in my pelvis, I made it up. I could say I gloriously got 11th place in the beginner category. It rounded me up somehow. I actually got 83rd out of 93rd. But it did some algorithm thing, felt bad for me, and said, this guy used to be a pro. Say he got 11th place in the beginners, but it's healing. The wrist, I have not been able to get back to 100% flexibility. This is what this wrist does. This one isn't there yet. I believe I'm going to get there. This direction, I've almost got it there. Almost all other directions, I've got it there. So it is about bringing awareness to it on a daily basis. Of course, plugging with the angels, but bring awareness to it to heal. And then there is a lot of prayer going on as well. Mary, how do we tell fear from ego versus angels giving us a gut feeling something is wrong and needing to protect ourselves? A great question. Fear and ego tend to go hand in hand, Mary. Once we step back, fear wants to keep us safe, or ego wants to keep us safe. But we get to ask, what's prudent? So, for instance, your ego doesn't really want you getting smushed by walking across the road, and feeling fearful will help save you from getting smushed going across the road. The question you get to ask is this prudent? If I lived in New York City, which I've worked in the city, didn't live in the city, I knew that there'd be this giant pack of people going across the road. And so you'd step out as a group and the vehicles would stop. Kind of crazy, but true. But that in that situation was more prudent than stepping out in front of cars here, where I'm going to be flattened. What I'm saying is your ego on some level is here to protect you, and to not ignore it entirely. Ask what's prudent, but then also to ask, what is the energy behind this fear? Because I know you've heard Mary and me talk a lot about the flip side of the coin, which means that energy is neither good nor bad. Energy is. What does that mean? Energy is neither good nor bad. Energy is. It means that often the very things that you don't want to do are the things that you get to do, as long as, again, we are prudent. We look both ways, but understanding that fear may actually be rocket fuel to help us on our way. We get to, between you and me, Mary, we get to up-level the show in so many ways. It's awesome. It's incredible. I'm biased. It's helpful for people. And yet my vision isn't being realized yet for who I want to reach, for how I want to reach, for how I want to touch people's hearts, for how I want to take this vehicle to the next level. I haven't gotten there yet. Now, I could say that is fear, or that is disappointment, or that is a whole range of emotions. Or I could say that's energy helping move me forward. But Michael, it'll be really scary to change. Okay, there's where fear comes in. It'd be really scary to change. Breathe into it. Okay, I want to look both ways before I cross the road. Breathe out. Is it an energy rather than just fear? Breathe in. I know I need to be safe. Breathe out. Yeah, Michael, but you didn't answer the question. Where's the energy coming from? Angels, guides, light workers. Where is this energy coming from that makes me afraid of change? Oh, it's that pesky old fear of my own greatness. In other words, it's an energy of great positive change. And great positive change is the scariest change of all because it has the energy of the heavens behind it. And so when I go to the breath, when I laser pinpoint with the question and ask what that fear or feeling is, I gain clarity. So in fully answering your question, I'm going to read through it one more time. How do we tell fear from ego? I think we kind of got that covered. Versus, and I would certainly go to automatic writing. All of this, Mary, I'd go to automatic writing and say, is this fear coming from my ego? Is this fear coming from the angels? Is this fear something I'd be prudent about? Is this fear something? We hired a consultant on our YouTube show today. And my egoic mind was very actually fearful of this. It's fearful of change. So I went into automatic writing, Mary, and I said, am I supposed to hire this person? And it was something beyond absolutely. It was some word of greatness oh yeah, absolutely. Now, the nice thing about the ego is it's never into positive change. So if it's for positive change, there's a good reason for it. It's a good thing. It's not coming from the ego. If in automatic writing, Mary, I heard, don't do it. It's going to be the worst decision. It's terrible. It's this, it's that. I would then ask for clarity in automatic writing. Is this coming from my angels or coming from ego? It's a question we can ask about anything and everything, Mary. Is this fear coming from my ego or is it coming from the angels, guides, and higher self? It's really about having a vehicle to hear it most clearly. But I am continuously asking, and I'm surprised more often than not that the fear is actually beautiful rocket fuel for positive, powerful change in disguise. Amy, can you have a shamanic experience without the ayahuasca ceremony? Of course, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. You can have a shamanic experience just by going to the drums. You can have a shamanic experience by getting yourself overtired for 3 or 4 days sleep straight without sleep and starting to see a deer. There you go, jumping out in the road right in front of you. You can do it with other more tasking demands on the human body, which I do not recommend. Even an ultra run can get you there. There are so many techniques, but you can also do it through self-hypnosis. You can do it in a lighter state through automatic writing. What you're really asking, Amy, is can I have a shamanic experience and get into that trance-like state without needing the medicine? Yes, you can. The medicine just makes it easier, in the beginning anyway, to tune the dial to a new frequency, but it is not required at all. Full disclosure, I've had these experiences both ways, with and without ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is quite profound and can be incredibly healing if you have conditions that get to be healed. However, we can get to those frequencies without the pyrotechnics that the plant and the vine do provide. And it's interesting because a beautiful name for ayahuasca that I once heard from my dear, dear friend Ceci, truly a shaman in her own right on Hawaii, on the Big Island. She calls them Mama Deer and Papa Deer. Jeannie, question, is it okay that we pray to the angels and not directly to God the Father? Do they speak for him or should we still speak directly to him as well? So I'm just going to give you my opinion, Jeannie, on this, which is the overarching energy of everything that we can call God, we can call Source, we can call the Father, we can call the core, we can call it this highest level energy of which we are a part, of which the angels are part, but of which we are not the totality, is always listening to us, is always helping us. But it may be easier and more accessible to our minds to call in the angels for help. God the Father, whatever we want to call Spirit or Source, is always there and will always help us. We can go directly to him, her, she, they, it. We can go directly. We don't need an intermediary. But for myself, I find it equally powerful or more so if I feel like I have a bunch of homies out there, the angels, which I do, which you do, and I can call on them for help. With that said, automatic writing, for example, is a process where you can write literally straight to God. It is a process where certain, like Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God, you learn automatic writing. You can have conversations with God. You don't need to go to the angels. You don't need to go through your higher self. You don't need to go through any intermediaries. Can you do this at any time? Yes. The more you learn a process, unless you've had a mystical experience, the easier it is to call on and hear from God. But you can grow that connection so incredibly strong so that you're hearing God all of the time. It's a brilliant question, Jeannie. Couple last questions, and then let's get into a meditation here. Randy, do we wake up when we are ready, or can it be forced? It's two different ways I get to respond to this, Randy. First off, we are on our own spiritual path, on our own spiritual journey with its own spiritual timeline. That can't be forced. You are perfectly, Randy, exactly where you're supposed to be at exactly the right time. Perfectly exactly where you're supposed to be. Now, we can do processes to wake ourselves up in a sense more, sort of like I'm teaching automatic writing Thursday. We can do these processes, but we wake up to these processes at just the right time because that's where we're supposed to be. The forcing it part means, can I say, I've got to hear from Spirit now. There's got to be a way. I've got to find a way. That actually has the reverse effect because that is coming from your ego. And your ego cuts off the carrier wave of Spirit. So, Randy, what we're seeking here is go to God, go to Source, go to an awakening, as if with the desperation of needing oxygen and having a bag over your head, and then relax into all of it and find the flow. Let's see. Jennifer, how do you know it's your angels when you hear them? Jennifer, it is a brilliant question. When you do something like automatic writing, when you do a series of prayers where you're connecting at the highest level, you may not know whether it is your angels, whether it is your guides, whether it is God, Jehovah, Buddha, Allah, Jesus, him or herself. Because often the highest level energies at the beginning don't give us a name. All we know is we're connecting with Spirit at the highest level, and that's most important. Over time, if the same voices come in time and time again, you will get names. But they don't like giving them at first, and I don't even know why. Okay, they're telling me it's because it's not about the person. What's important isn't about, oh, it's specifically Archangel Michael, who is a homie. It's specifically about, no, they're saying that is when we do that, the analytic and the egoic mind get too involved in who and what it is and stop listening to the message. And the message is much more important than the messenger when you're playing the highest level game. Again, things like Ouija board, super important, probably not to be playing there. And they're, in a sense, who it is very important because it's a very slippery slope. let's see here. God, I cut off the questions here, but these are just so brilliant. Cameron, do your angels tell you what you need to do also? Just wondering, because I don't, and I feel something different for a while now. Angels will tell you enough typically to take the next step or two, but not every step, because they want us to learn and grow. Oh, that's one of my favorite sounds. I don't know if you can hear that. You want to say that again, Rue? His preening before bedtime sound is one of the cutest sounds ever. Angels want to give us the next step or two to help us step forward, but they don't want to give us everything, because if they do, we don't learn and grow and expand. So if you feel stuck, and I've been there many times, we can certainly put the questions out there to the angels, but understand that energy of stuckness is just the angels having you in front of the crosswalk, waiting for the light to change, and it will. There's actually a lot going on under the surface at this time. So know the light will change. Know your angels are still there. And know that sort of like there's a timer going on for that light to change. And it may seem slower for you at this moment than it does at others, but time is relative. It's always changing. Know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Let's take this as the last question. Hold on here. Oh, cool. Cynthia Sue Larson, an amazing human being, an amazing guest, an amazing author, is here with us right now. And I'm seeing if I can pull up her link to her show that she did with me recently. Smire Nation. So can we put this link in here? Cynthia Sue Larson. So one of the things, we did an amazing show with her on parallel universes. We did an amazing show with her on the Mandela effect. And I'm going to see if I can copy this. And well, actually, Aya, can you put the links into the chat room? Cynthia Sue Larson is someone who I recommend everyone check out her work. Because when you understand, I mentioned earlier that we are all on path. We are. However, we are not stuck to a particular reality. We are not stuck in a particular world. We can leap and jump up to a higher vibrational state, to a higher level reality, to a parallel universe that serves us even better. That's what I believe her life work is all about. That to me is, in a sense, what my life's work is all about, is connecting to spirit at the highest level, which then literally changes your reality to a higher level as well. So let's go to a last question here. And I see a couple questions about depression and anxiety. So let's see if I can lump these together from Catherine and Andrea. So Catherine asks, can angels help with feelings of sadness and depression? Have been feeling in a slump lately. And Andrea asks, my hubby is depressed and anxious now, but I am unable to help him. Is there anything I can do? So both of these, to me, Catherine and Andrea, to me, they're being overwhelmed by the energy of the collective. Now, there can be very specific reasons, or you may be, Catherine, overwhelmed by the energy of the collective, and there may be specific reasons as well. And Andrea, your husband may be feeling this as well. What we get to do, A, is tether to the angels to help bring our energy up. Tether to the angels with everything we've got. Catherine, for yourself, do flow state activities, do creative activities. If you like to paint, paint, draw, draw, dance, dance, sing, sing, scream, scream, in a sense. But do what brings you the greatest happiness and joy as much as you can at this time, even if it doesn't feel good. Don't force it. But if you used to like chocolate, have a little bit of chocolate. allow the joy back into our lives. It is hard at this time. We often feel, we look around. I mean, you can't go to a YouTube thing without it mentioning the Ukraine, which is great, or people who are suffering, which is great, but that does not mean that you're not allowed joy. In fact, the higher your level of inner joy, the more you bring everyone up. So find what brings you joy, do it. And I would certainly, Catherine, take this as a time to connect with the angels even more. Now, for someone else in your household, it is doubly important that we do this without forcing anything on them. So we work on merging with the energy of the angels. We work on bringing our energy up and up and up. We be the brightest light we can, but we don't go around going, woohoo, I'm having so much fun, because that's going to sink them into the hole. What you want to do, Andrea, is hold space. Be the biggest tugboat or love boat in the world. Be there for him. Listen if he's open. If not, just see what you can quietly do to connect the angels and raise your energy to the max. But if there are things that he liked to do or loved to do, you can suggest those things to him as well. Gently, without any force, but gently, gently, gently. Susan says one of her kitties who's crossed over the Rainbow Bridge has come back, letting me know they're here. I've spoken to them. I love them, helping to see them. That is awesome. So one of the things you can do in all of the work we're talking about tonight, and certainly in automatic writing, and I teach it, is to communicate with your animals who've crossed over, to communicate with your loved ones who've crossed over. Understand, we've been talking about energy a lot here tonight. Energy, and you learn this in Physics 101, high school physics for that matter. Energy can never be created nor destroyed. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. What does this mean? Your energy. You know it. You've seen it. You've seen a body after somebody's passed away and you go, they're just not home. No, they're energy. Your energy, I'm energy, cannot be created nor destroyed. In other words, you are eternal. So when your kitty crosses over, they can still come back and visit you any and every time they want, any and every time you want, because there is no distance. We get this so confused. We get this, how will I know that my loved one who's crossed over hears me? How do I know they're not a million miles away? There is no million miles away on the other side. There is no away, and there is no time. So in no time, in nowhere, they are now here. It's just a matter of learning how to connect with them, to go from nowhere to now here. Automatic writing does it. Diving into your heart does it. Diving into meditation does it. But if you want to communicate with a loved one who's crossed over, whether that's the Rainbow Bridge, whether that's through a tunnel of love and light, you can communicate with them each and every time without exception. It may take a little practice, but you can communicate with them. With that said, I think big guy, I've been calling him Junior lately. We've had a bunch of channelings with him and animal communicators. And I've gone to calling him Junior lately so that, because he's growing up, he knows that I'm the father, not the father hen. It's funny. The angels are joking with me and they said the father hen. No, I am the father rooster in the house. And so I know that it's time to do a meditation because, let's see, I haven't even looked. I just have this hunch. Oh, okay, I won't disturb him. but he's almost gone completely to sleep behind my back there at the moment. So he has gone into a chill place, which means it's time to do a meditation. And I can't believe the time. Thank you guys for staying here with me. The energy feels, can you feel it? It feels really, really, really good here tonight. And I wanted to get to bed early tonight because I get to go to the hospital ridiculously early, but the energy has felt so good. So thank you for joining me here. Please do join me and learn automatic writing on Thursday. It changes everything. So let's dive into a meditation. I'd like you to sit up good and comfortably, but relaxed. It's too late at night, well, at least for here is on the East Coast, for us to be in some sort of rigid pose right now. So nice and relaxed, but up a little bit tall like an antenna. Breathe in from your feet. Breathe all the way in from your feet through your nose, but in through your feet all the way up and out the top of your head. And breathe out, down through your heart, down through your fingertips, down, down, down into the earth. Breathe up from the feet. You may feel a tingling sensation up through the glutes, up through the spine, the top of the head, and out. Feeling that energy circling around, going down through your heart, your arms, out through your fingertips. In through the nose, up, up, up. And out through the nose. Bringing that energy down and out. In and up. Down and out. In and up. Down and out. Now, as we keep breathing in and out, I want you to think of Rue for a minute. Take a look at his feathers if you can see him there. Or just imagine an angel's feathers. And I want you to envision an angel being at your back. Oh, he just shook there to show us all of his feathers. An angel at your back right here, right now. And as you breathe in and breathe out, you feel this angel putting their arms and wings around you. You breathe in, you feel the feathers at your back. You breathe out. You feel the strength of their wings. You breathe in. You feel their wings pressing up against you. You breathe out. You feel their incredible strength. Breathe in. Feel those feathers on your back, your shoulders, your neck, and out. You feel such a grounding force holding you, protecting you, keeping you safe. And in, you feel their feathers brushing up against your arms, and out. It is such a secure feeling at this time. You continue to breathe in and out. In and out. Now through your third eye, if you look around, you realize that we are all here interconnected and in a giant circle of people watching this event, past, present, and future, all together in this giant circle, hand in hand, all surrounded by the angels, all being held by the angels, all being protected by the angels. More than this, as we continue to breathe in and out and feel our angels holding us with their delicate yet strong wings, as we continue to breathe in and out, we recognize that we're not alone with our angels. There's an angel behind us. but there's an angel to their side as well. There's an angel to their right. There's an angel to their left. There's an angel directly behind them, and an angel behind them, and behind them still. In essence, as you look with your third eye, you recognize that behind you and to all sides, there are an infinite number of angels radiating outward, one layer of wings after the next, after the next, and after the next. These angels are here for you. These angels are here for all of us. These angels are here for all of humanity. But understand this. In a sense, you have called in each one of these angels here tonight. You have called in all of these angels here tonight. Because there is no separation between you and anyone in this circle. There is no separation between you and anyone on this planet Earth. That's why we feel these things right now. There is no separation between you and God, Spirit, or the Divine. What does this mean? Not only does it mean you're a part of the Divine, you are a part of God. You are Spirit herself. But it means these angels are real. These angels have your back. And you can literally call on the help from an army of angels. More angels than you could ever imagine or ever envision until tonight. In fact, if you filled up your entire conscious awareness with layer after layer after layer and after layer of angel, until everywhere in your consciousness, everywhere in your beingness, everywhere you could see with your eyes closed, there is, was, and will be an angel. There are even more angels than that have your back right now at this very moment. More angels, in a sense, than infinity. And that's a lot of angels. They're here to support you. They're here to love you. They're here to help you in every way they can. All you have to do is ask. Ask with emotion and then listen. And so before we end this meditation, what's pulling at your heart? What's tugging at your heartstrings right now? I know for me, it's a healthy, happy baby girl, healthy, happy mama, and a healthy, happy birth. What I'd like you to do is take what's tugging at your heartstrings, formulate it as a question. And while we are all here vibrating as a group together, surrounded by an infinity of angels, I want you to put that question out there to the angels. And then listen now. Listen tonight. And listen in all the still moments coming up you can. So I'll go quiet now so you can put that question out there. Whatever's on your heart. Get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Thank you. Do come join us for class on Monday. OMG, are you in for a special treat? Both in learning awe, learning how to communicate with the angels, but also learning how the angels can help you during this really unprecedented time. Of course, come join us for our School of Mystics. All of these like-minded homies, all of us getting together on Zoom, on camera, off camera, asking your question, not asking your question. Come together, learning, growing, gaining awareness, gaining perspective. Then we have tomorrow night with Vincent Jenna, which is going to be an amazing show on a channeling, a very powerful channeling of what's coming up for us. On Thursday with Suzanne Giesman, what in the world is going on with the world and going on with Ukraine and going on with Russia, as told by an angel expert who used to fly around with the Joint Chiefs of Staff in Air Force Two, who was flying over the Twin Towers as the Twin Towers were on fire, and how she learned to communicate with her angels to go from being one of the top in the military to one of the most amazing angel experts on earth. And do share with this with everyone you know. This is a game we get to play together of raising consciousness, of raising our vibration, of plugging into spirit together with everything we have, because it's changing our inner landscape that is going to change our outer landscape as well. So of course, subscribe, click that bell icon, be notified of upcoming shows, premiere events, live events like this, and share with everyone you know. Love you guys so much. Come join us for everything coming up. We're podcast as well. Don't forget that, so you can listen to us on your bicycle, on your way to work, on wherever it's safe to be listening to a podcast. I love you guys so much, and keep on shining bright. How does it get any better than this? Thank you, Aya. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, everyone. Love you guys so much. And good night.